Good morning. Welcome to on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. Please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are on the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could really use it. Right. So, yeah, Wisdom just popped into the Discord. I think it's online. At least. Yeah, I'm in there, but yeah. Weather today is clear blue sky. No trails, no clouds. Nothing really. It's like really clear. It started out clouded in the morning, was actually kind of cold. But then, like, I don't know, just the cloud bank just suddenly went away and it turned sunny again. I'd never seen such a quick transition of just being completely clouded to being completely no clouds whatsoever. Really, it's just, it kind of shifted like that in the time span of 2 hours or something. It's very strange. I mean, I was still sleeping because it was really early in the morning, but I mean, I've never seen it change around so dramatically. Expect like maybe less clouds or something, but just nothing. No clouds whatsoever, nowhere. It's all pure blue, sunny, it's a nice breeze. Feels like a really nice warm summer day. It's not super hot. It's just really nice. Right. So it is Saturday, the 11th of July, 2026. Temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. Okay. Doesn't feel all that hot. 54% humidity, 10 kilometers an hour wind, and 0% precipitation. If this is going to be the weather that it's going to be the next coming week, that's going to be great. Very doable, especially with some clouds in the morning. It's great. Okay. Temperature's gonna max on Wednesday and Thursday with 33 degrees. And then it's gonna go back down. Oh wait, no, Tuesday at 34. Okay. Now the prediction is that coming Saturday, next weekend, the temperature will bump down and there's a big lightning storm. They keep like moving it ahead. I mean, I distinctly remember making note of that on my other show, and it's just like they're moving like this storm ahead. It just keeps moving with the time. Like, I guess it's guessing and we're all looking forward to another storm, that it was kind of nice. But I mean, yeah, if it keeps moving every day, a week ahead of time, yeah, that means that's never gonna happen then. So I don't know, maybe you just do like an early estimation what they think, and then it just takes longer. I don't know. I mean, the way weather forecasting works, especially automated, is kind of a riddle to me, to a lot of people. I mean, I try to just analyze it doing my show and all that, but I mean, the weirdness of it is definitely standing out. What with things that happen, like how off they can get, how they do the estimations and all that. Anyway, and like it doesn't make any, it doesn't differentiate between any geoengineering, right? I mean, between any chemtrails or actual natural cloud formation, it doesn't make any distinction. Sometimes it says, oh, it's a super sunny day, but it's all hazy, which is not a super sunny day at all. It just doesn't make note of that. Right, but hey, that's why I do what I do. Part of it anyway. Since I started talking about the weather at the start of my show, which was very early on, I think. At least like somewhere in the first 2 years. Been doing this for a decade, if you can believe it. Right. Anyhow, hope everybody's having a great weekend. A nice Saturday. I don't know, man. I'm not doing super great, actually. I mean, in a way I am, but I'm just, I don't know what the hell's happening recently, but I'm just getting so cranky and shit. And like, maybe it's just not just me, but like a lot of people out there. Especially 2 days ago, as I discussed on my show yesterday. But I mean, I'm still feeling it. And yesterday also, I just started yelling at some point. Just got people just over talking, getting so pissed off. Like, do you have no common decency? Because it's like over talking, not because they want to like quickly move in a point, which it like I do that, but you have to keep it really short. Now they interrupt, and then they like kind of stumble, take their time, not really get to the point, so they're interrupting to literally interrupt and make it inaudible. And that is so fucked up. It's so disgusting, and it gets me in like, dude. And I mean, it's happened like in the real world when I was younger too. Like, if somebody does that to your face, like, you just start strangling them. And I don't think that's even all that uncommon, but people don't really do it face to face as much, especially since the internet. They do it online, and it is such a horrifying habit. It's just pure disruption. It makes everything tedious, and it gets me just really angry. And I don't understand why universally moderators don't just mute those people. And then they'll probably leave immediately because they were there just to disrupt. So they don't care to listen. They don't want to learn. So why not mute them or kick them out? I mean, hey, it's been my policy forever. Oh, when nobody's here, Arwin. Oh, I beg to differ. Beg to differ. They're definitely here. A lot of people still listen. Not always live, but they still do. But yeah, it's hard to... Well, the problem with me is that even though I don't like brush over somebody like that, I do get irritated sometimes, and then it's the irritation that basically kind of makes me want to discontinue the conversation, but I can't let go, kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe that is actually comparable to what these systemic interrupters always do. But I mean, they don't even sound irritated when they're doing it. So they're not like really suppressing their anger or anything, which is what I go through. They're just doing it calmly, which means that it's not like compulsive. it's deliberate, it's planned in a way to do that. Then it's hard to really pinpoint it. But I mean, I definitely do differentiate myself from people that behave like that, and I think everybody that I deal with, they know the difference, and they know that when I basically start to step out of line, it's because of emotion, and it's genuine. They know. They know I'm not just being a disruptive asshole. A lot of them, if they would realize I was that, they would probably just kick me out very quickly. And hey, people in the past on other platforms, they did not care to sometimes look into it carefully, and then they would just do that. So, and I'm talking really early days, like 2016 and all that, when I was like a lot less developed. Interacting through social media. Because, hey guys, I don't know if you know, but I've been like following Alex Jones for a very long time, but other than that, YouTube and all that, where I started to do my own things on camera and all that, like I had never done that before 2016. So all my development doing this basically started then. Before that, I had a lot of ideas, but I wasn't even used to communicating it all that much. For me back then, the only way to do that was to basically find somebody out there who was interested in me talking and could actually follow a little bit of what I was talking about, whatever it was, and then I just like start pouring it over them until they basically got oversaturated. Like it happened every time. Because I got way too much. I got too much to share, or I used to. Not now. Well, doing this, social media and all that, I have found basically the compensation point where I'm never short on sharing. Like I can literally share whatever, and in a way it's enabled me to go so far as to try to lay down details about my functioning, almost communicating to myself, not necessarily to other people, although some might be able to follow it, and then getting it out finally, instead of basically all my life not really being able to get it out all the time. Just like it's like you just got this thing inside of you that's like always pushing, always more, like more things I need to share, but I don't necessarily even, I can feel it's there, I don't even know what it is yet, and I don't know how to describe it yet, but it's just like this sensation from the inside, like there's this spirit or information just trying to push out, like I want to manifest really, really obsessively. And yeah, especially in direction of like spiritual experiences, esoterica, the invisible subtle things, like energy mechanics, spirit mechanics. Like I've given all these things names now, and I kind of like can even categorize them to my own satisfaction. Most of my life I've not been able to really do that. It was just like too elusive, too complicated. And it's all just like you see everything, but it's not necessarily like ordered. And then when I roll it out, it's like it starts to crystallize in an orderly fashion. It's really fascinating how that works. It's just like kind of crammed in nice, the subtle details of what I'm actually communicating applying to them. And they've never even attempted to try to explain that, because they would just be, well, it's just like something happens and then that that will be the extent to how they're able to communicate about it. Yeah, that's where I basically went all nutty and spent like a well, and the real complicated deeper patterns that are actually normal manage orientation, but there's like, it's not really outspoken, so you don't actually know what you're doing, you're just doing it, which I mean works fine for tons of people, but then they don't really get to understand what's really going on. And it's kind of funny, because I think that one of these things, like, sorry to suddenly go there, understand, it's more like prismatic rainbow shapes and Buddhas and all that. I really like, I've seen that on the other side, which is of course induced by literal hallucinogenics, so it's like that kind of confirmed, like, whoa, those pictures that you get to see at those parties, that it's not just weird random artistic stuff to titillate the senses. You see, there's what you're actually seeing there is like, is mechanical. it's really, you just see all these things that you normally just can't see with your normal there's what your ass finds other ways to basically figure out what is there and that it's connected. Your subconscious knows much more about how things actually work than your consciousness, just universally, and that's why your intuition can basically guide you through so much without actually understanding what the fuck's going on. But those hallucinatory fields and colors, like, that is all actually, it's not just random, it's not just artistic. There is just all this energy field interaction everywhere. And like, I started to understand that very early, like, and I mean basically 1997, in the big vision thing where I first got to see it. It also got turned off specifically, which was also like really a surreal experience that I've explained and discussed, like even Discord panel, other guys, that certain entities which basically represent themselves in some human form, but they were very dark, black bearded man, and another figure which I do not want to address right now, who then like changed something, like put a slide, almost like another filter, and then the whole prismatic color stuff just went away. And that's why I even like call it all the dark world, because after that point everything looked like that and no longer the prismatic stuff. Like, I've basically never seen things in the prismatic way ever since that point on the other side. Because I did go to the other side plenty of times still. But the prismatic stuff was like suppressed. It was so strange when that happened. Anyway. Starting to lose track of where I was going with this. The subtleties of these things. Like, it really is something. All these things are quite real, and it just reveals that they're basically the energetic spirit design, which is normal. Like, that is underneath our experience. It's like our physical interpretation of how we cognitively categorize everything in ourselves and how we just respond to things. Like, that's our normal. But underneath that, there is like so much detail actually going on, which of course is like one of ways to actually reveal is to actually look into the microbiology, and it's just like, bro, yeah, we are like a metropolis of activity, and it's not really all that explicable. I mean, biologists, microbiologists, like, yeah, they've learned a lot, they've observed a lot of typical things that happen, but to say like, no, we completely know why everything exactly happens the way it does under microbiology. Oh, that's a good one. That's hilarious to think, to even suggest that such a thing would be possible is just ridiculous, really. And that's just that is actually a physical, tangible proof of like how fractal and elaborate our bodies and our spirits are, and our experience, and that there is a really complicated purpose behind it all. But then there is this thing, and this is like, there is almost like a quantum effect in a way. This is gonna get a bit hippy dippy maybe. There is a real importance to the contemporary experience and its perspective, and its limiting perspective. It's part of the reason why we're doing it. The higher self, like the greater self that really knows all these things and has basically a grasp throughout time, is not bothered by our contemporary experiences and thoughts and interpretations. But to actually shift your contemporary conscious, which is basically your default conscious, to that higher conscious, to really integrate with it, which I have experienced, well, here's the thing, it kind of takes away the whole purpose. It's like you're not actually supposed to do that on a functional level. It can kind of lock you out if you feel really locked off just having your contemporary conscious, and you feel like everything is doomed. You can get into a whole bunch of delusions and depressing interpretations of reality, get really dark. Effectively, you get what that means is you gradually get demoralized by your own ideas, by not having proper interactions with other people to really help to get to you and help you out of it. You become isolated in a spiritual way, and then you become demoralized, you become vacated, and then literally demonic entities start entering you. And when you're yourself, even in hallucinatory state, you don't really get to find out, but you do get to meet your demons. You get to meet the things that are actually in you when you're vacated. Like, that's one of those things that you can experience with hallucinatory experiences, similar to what I've been through. Very typically noted thing about like ayahuasca trips. You get to meet your demons. It's quite literal. It's like the spiritual things are become anthropomorphized. They take physical shape and personality to your mind in that experience. So you get to meet your demons and you have it, which normally you don't, because from the normal first person perspective, when demons are there, they're just integrated with your consciousness. So you can't really distinguish them on an intuitive level. Other than, hey, I'm feeling in a very strange way. Like, that is like basically the furthest that can go. But if you're still sharp in mind and it's not completely locked off, like because of extreme rage, with most people you completely lose your cognitive ability. I don't, for some reason. It's just the way I work. Then you can reason out, like, oh, I'm actually being possessed right now. My rage is pulling me out of reasonable behavior. That is like a form of possession. Rage win, I call that. It is possession, and it is vacated, and it does come forth from demoralization. Demoralization, losing hope. You lose spirit, it vacates you, and then there is this hollowness, which is very painful. And you have emergency systems, that's how it feels, to basically fill it in, to give you at least a temporary purpose, an emergency purpose. And a lot of that, well, is actually driven by fiendish entities. In a way, and this is the most bizarre part, is that the demons are actually there to serve you, but serve you in a very acute way, to actually prevent you from extreme suffering in the moment. But because of their nature, they do cause damage nonetheless, because it just changes you in a way. And it's like, yeah, well, when you're possessed, you're evil, you do damage to others, and then that's pinned on your personal reputation too. So demons do actually do damage, even though in a more acute way, they literally come there to relieve you of the acute suffering of demoralization, of vacation, of feeling the black hole ripping you apart from the inside, which is excruciating. And then the emergency procedures set in, and the demon basically comes and takes that up, gives you a new format, a new purpose, redirects what you see as normal. And that's part of it. So yeah, and that happens to me too. And I can even recognize it when it's happening. But like, even though somebody can point out, you're possessed by Satan right now, and I'm like, yeah, so like, it's not like I could do something about it. Like, I know basically, like, yeah, I'm being possessed by rage right now. It's not necessary. I wouldn't call it Satan. Satan is kind of a catch-all thing for demons or whatever. It's not correct, because I'm not that demoralized that I'm like kill, steal, and destroy mindset. Like, I've not been that demoralized in a long time, and I've made sure that can never happen again. And even when I was in that mindset, I had automated routines to prevent me from actually doing the damage, because that's what it's all about. Damage control. That's like everything spiritual is really about damage control. Right? Because when you face, through whatever reason, an enormous loss or an unexpected turn of events that really completely crushes you, there's two things that you can do. Like, two ways you can approach the suffering. You can basically allow yourself to, at least temporarily, and who knows what happens, get possessed and prevent like a spiritual bleed out, but it may cause some damage. Or you'll really let it get to you, and then you have like a spiritual bleed out, which is excruciating and potentially very destructive. And I but that's like, it has more to do with like how deep the pain goes, how vacated you become, how much of like common decency, spiritual struggle. But that's like, yeah, because if you're super demoralized beyond your wildest nightmares, like whatever takes you, yeah, it acutely prevents you from basically dying spiritually, and that could actually be dangerous. Like you might like get like a heart attack or something, an aneurysm, just so much physical tension that just fucks you up. But it's not gonna repair you, whatever takes you. It's just there to siphon off the pressure so that it doesn't acutely kill you. But whatever takes you rearranges the priorities, and it's not gonna, like, I've had that where I get so demoralized it would take me, but then it's almost like start a new agenda, like, and that makes it seem so much like the actual idea of possession. It's like super demoralized, it takes you, and then it's just like, oh, I'm here, let's work on the agenda, which is completely different of what was actually in me and what I was planning and everything before that moment. Like, and that really looks like, well, almost like possession in the movies, like really like some entity just takes you and it's something different. And that's what does that. Anyway, it might be a bit hard to follow. Sorry if it's hard to follow. I'm having trouble actually explaining it in this moment because it's really complicated. Especially if you like try to highlight the details. I'm gonna put it in the title though. Now here's the thing where it becomes kind of different, where also the idea of like a person's getting possessed by a demon, right? Well, I just explained how that actually works, how it's still effectively the same person, but it's like in a different setting. Because every person has potential settings, most of which are just universally dormant until they come out. They're confronted, and then you get see another side of a person, and some of it can be really unexpectedly dark, and then it seems like demonic possession. It's still the same person though, but it's like another side of them, and it's just a big contrast. Then, like, can actual non-human entities that are really truly outside of us take our body? I think that is possible too. But it actually requires an atrocity, because the same effect that basically makes you switch personality, you could say, under heavy pressure, like a system goes in an emergency system to siphon off the acute pressure, but it changes like your perspective and your personality. You might get a totally new plan, so it seems like you're demonically possessed to other people, maybe, or just possessed by rage or whatever the perspective's going to be. If you have that much trauma, but instead of like allowing an emergency routine, but basically allowing a spiritual bleed out, and then at that time an actual extra dimensional entity is there, and you make a deal with it to allow it to take you, then you really get possessed. But that is very different, because when a person is really possessed like that, it's not an emergency procedure that is taking place to deal with the acute pressure. You basically, like, it when a person when that happens, it's more like an alien, something really surreal gets in there, and it's really weird, and it doesn't necessarily have an agenda, but it's like just something completely different, where normal human priorities and systems don't make sense to it. And I think that is actually a real form of possession, where a spirit outside of the body, not another side of you that is more devilish or whatever, but an actual entity from outside can interface with you and keep you locked. And from what I've heard, people that have said to have experienced that, they go to a dark place with their consciousness. They basically get locked in a blackened out chamber where there's no light, and it's silent, and they don't know when they're gonna get out, and it's depressing, and they get locked out until suddenly they flip back in their body. It's like, what the fuck happened? And that's like really getting locked out, where your consciousness is no longer there. Real possession, with real full possession of an extra dimensional entity, your consciousness is locked out of the normal interface. Something else is now there in that position. You go to like a dormant place, an internal world, usually a dark place, where you're just in the waiting room in the dark. And that is real possession, but that is extremely rare. That's not a common thing. That's not like the demons that are possessing all of us all the time. Look at how corrupted we are. No, that's literally always emergency systems that make you effectively demonically possessed in an esoteric way. Dark forces start to take hold, but it's still you. It's just other sides of you. You could compare it to like the devil that's always on your shoulder, angel on your shoulder, the devil on your shoulder, symbolically, right? That little devil's like taking the reins, but it's still you. With actual demonic possession, like, you're not there with your conscious. It's like diverted off to another place, and a real other type entity takes the reins. Like, and the typical thing also is that when that happens, those entities, they don't have your memory. So wherever they first appear, they won't recognize anybody. Because the memory is like a fractal system. It's like an anagram or a hologrammatic engram that is intricately connected to your consciousness. It is diverted off into the waiting room. The new entity doesn't have that anagram, so it will be completely like like he just booted up in a new world and is trying to figure everything out. Like, what is happening? Right? Unless you've been already in contact and it learned things, it already knows things about you because it got to like peek with you, so. Which can happen. Like, you can have tags. This is one of the things that I use my healer for, and technique to get those out. Because you can get tagged. Entities through people can tag you. They can get to you, then they like plant a spiritual tag. And if you let that sit, then that tag is like a little gateway that they can use to basically look alongside you, to study you. This does happen everywhere, like all the time. And it is like, I mean, that is one of the preliminaries, because it's also, yeah, a tag is also basically can only happen because there was enough room and there's enough vacation, there's enough demoralization for that to actually take hold. If you are like perfectly confident, pristine, energetic, like a tag will just bounce off, like bounces off the armor of God, basically, symbolically, esoterically. Right. But yeah, when you are like I have been like sad for reasons or depressed somehow, and especially if it's hard to even figure out where it's coming from, then I'm more vulnerable to attacks. And like entities know. That's why when I'm like that, immediately all the fucking trolls just launch themselves at me. They can hear it in my voice, and it's just something compels them, like, I have to get up to him right now, quickly put the tag there before the armor of God comes back. Like, literally, that's literally what happens all the fucking time. It's like every damn time that happens. And that, the way that I just described it, the esoterica, the spirit mechanics of it, that's literally how it is. Like, oh, he has a vulnerability. Quickly put the tag there. Get to him. Say something really mean-spirited and personal that's completely out of place. But it'll get to him now, and then you can leave that tag. That the entities that have a grip on them, indirectly at least, maybe directly, they're not full-blown possessed though, but they're certainly pushing toward it. If they would be extremely traumatized, then they could get full possessed. But in the normal state, they typically aren't. They just dwell in ignorance to hold off the big trauma. But I mean, it's extremely dangerous because now your like reality is no longer safe. That's why that's never an option. You have to just deal with everything immediately, really. Otherwise, reality itself will become too dangerous to face. It's crazy how that works, but it does. Anyway, thanks for Rogan's up. Whoever did that, hope you all appreciate it. I do feel very inspired today. It's good to get into spirit mechanics again. Yeah. Expand it some more on the title. Man, I feel very inspired today. Maybe it's the weed. it does typically happen that I get into spirit mechanics. I have been like kind of depleted in cannabis for a while, and then I get it again, and then usually I'm like, oh, I don't know what to talk about, and then I start my show, and then this happens. It just starts rolling like a waterfall, like, whoa, man, where's that been? Oh yeah, that's how that goes. So yeah, a lot of the times where I start talking about spirit mechanics out of nowhere after having some off days, it's usually because I suddenly had a good replenishing smoke of weed, basically. It happens. It because also I guess the cannabis, it makes me more interested in it. Well, when I don't have that, it's like yeah, I know, whatever. I want my life to improve. Like, I'm more concerned about the earthly things. When I get into cannabis, I just get really fascinated by the spiritual things. It's what it is. It's always been like that. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you like it. I do not have a lot of clips. I found one. But yeah, the news is just more of the same. I basically, what I addressed yesterday is that's still ongoing. And I don't want to poison this show with dealing with that. I'd actually like to stick to the spirit mechanics as much as I can. And I hope you appreciate it. I would actually still appreciate it though if somebody would think alongside me while I do that, and maybe even figure out to ask questions to specify things. Because when I get like this, I become very capable at basically reciprocating on a very high level and answering questions with great detail, as long as it's with good, like the question is actually of good faith. And I can tell in these moments when I'm like this. And I have higher function. It's like my oracle mode, if you will. Oh, that triggers so many people. Oh, the oracle can't even figure out a troll is a troll. Ooh. Yeah, whatever. That's nice. Yeah. Well, doesn't mean I know everything. It's just I can dig deeper though, and that probably won't mean anything to a bunch of people. But yeah, that's not the people that I'm trying to target. That's not who I'm trying to communicate with. I'm trying to communicate with people that can actually follow what I'm talking about. I get it. Anyway, 49 minutes in, my time has flown. I hope you all appreciate it. I do. Like doing a show like this. And it's relevant because, I mean, yeah, I addressed it yesterday. I did not expect that somebody would just say that to my face. Like, when I'm really pissed off, that they just say, "Are you now possessed?" And I was like, shocked. It's like, yeah, but I mean, come on. You know? That's not fair. I'm righteously angry. And and the fantasies that come out of it are a bit insane. But it's coming from just this injustice sense. Sense that things must be corrected, that justice must happen, and yeah, that can drive you crazy. But I mean, it is effectively a form of possession in the way that I described, right? an automated defense system. Like Ragewin is an automated defense system where I get so overwhelmed that the anger has to be there to not make it so freaking painful and not make it feel like I'm so outnumbered or that it's all so hopeless. It really is that. It's that basic. But yeah, anger, especially when it's that intense, it changes the perspective on everything. Your whole priority system gets like, here's a new system. It's the anger system. This is how everything is going to be looking like to you now. And it's completely different. It's weird like that. But I mean, that's how it works. And it's very difficult to deal with. I don't know anybody that can actually deal with that. Like the universal problem with people that have anger issues is that they can't handle the difference of perspective from it. And that often, subconsciously at least, they actually like getting angry because it enables a form of escapism. Because you lose the normal oversight, and the angry vision is actually simpler and more easy to tackle. While the normal sensible vision, you could call it the Christ vision, is way more strenuous. And so to just as acutely relieve you from the harsh realities, as it were, you tend to become angry more easily because it's actually saving you on a physical level, preventing spiritual collapse because you can't handle it. And that's part of it. And I do not have that issue because I can choose to like hold it off. In general, at least in face-to-face situation, I've never like gone berserk to anybody face-to-face. The last time that happened, I was basically getting cornered as a kid. Other than that, it never happens. I have an alternative route to take, you know. Ragewin is like expression mode. It's one way to do it, to hold off spiritual implosion, siphon off the pressure, and then be expressive and declare what I see wrong and what I feel about it and what I think should be harshly corrected, right? But there's another mode too, which is actually way more dangerous, which is the actual self-defense mode that usually only comes forth in physical threat. It's adrenal, and then stop communicating and get very physical, and that's dangerous. Like, it can really hurt people when I get like that. But that it only ever happens when people are stupid enough to attack me and like try to corner me. I go berserk. That's actual berserk, and it's not something to actually brag about because it's a horrible experience to actually go through that. And it usually gives me very strong PTSD echoes afterward. Every time that's happened. Like that, literally, when I go into that mode, it does give me nightmares. But hey, I always survive because of that. When you go into that mode, it is very discouraging for any attacker because they realize you're suddenly like extremely vicious and very strong and very fast, and that's not an easy target. And that's why it works. Because, I mean, a lot of bullying is just subconscious group behavior and all that. And you want easy pickings when you do that because it's petty. It's just a petty rush to feel superior. Somebody's suddenly extremely vicious. Well, you don't want to mess with that. It's not easy. Like, yeah, unless you're like really targeting somebody because you want to take them out or something. That's different. Alright, anyway. I'm inspired today, but do understand, like, I'm a little scattered. Try not to be... Hey, you took the Rogans away. What the hell? Okay, whatever. By the way, I have to really applaud OBS for not having any connection issues whatsoever for, is it now 3 weeks? I've lost count, but it's been absolutely perfect for a very long time, and I really appreciate that. I have like kept it updated. I don't know if it would do the same if I like do a show on Windows again. I can, but I'm not doing it. But it's been really well functioning. I'm very happy about that. And Rumble mostly as well. Sometimes has a bit of delay or something. But yeah, especially OBS been functioning very well, and I'm very happy about that. I'll take a bit of a smoke. Calm down. Hope you all appreciate the show. And hey, yeah, if you think like, what the hell was all that? Well, this is the type of stuff that is actually just continuously on my mind. Like this is the stuff that I'm looking at all the time. And even with other people, I'm always basically trying to assess like how much are they themselves based on what they radiate, how they look at out of their eyes, and how they initiate actions. I'm always assessing everybody. To me, it's almost like what do you compare that with? It's very comparable, I guess, to like a Dungeons and Dragons detect evil spell. I mean, this nerdy stuff, nobody really cares probably, but it is like individual assess. That much, individual assess that much, and then just like estimating the field and just like, where is everybody, and then figure out, okay, based on the collection of all of this, what is likely where people are intellectually dwelling because of it, and then where's it all gonna go? Like that's like a testing of the water that I then can later tap into to estimate, like, are people going to finally take action? Because estimating when somebody is going to take action is actually in reality a really, really complicated thing. And to deal with that, the world just repeats things over and over and over and over again, to the point where they hope that it'll push people or get to them, get through to them, sink in, that they'll then be forced to take action because they can't escape it anymore. But in reality, it's way more complicated than that, but you just can't anticipate it unless you do what I do, and that's not something you could just write down in a script. You have to like basically stare at people's spirits and shit and use your extra senses of things that are basically not really visible. And it's so complicated, you can't write that down in a manual and then just follow that. You have to like dedicate your life to it. And that's what I've done. What I do. I don't have a lot of other things to do. I mean, it's not helping me make a good salary or anything, but it's a skill I have, and I still feel it's worth it, even though I live in poverty. And to me, it was the only way. It's the only way I could escape spiritual corruption and damnation. No longer being able to interface with full reality because you're dependent on a lie for survival. That's just the worst nightmare scenario for me universally. Like, I cannot be dependent on lying to get by. I refuse. I literally would rather die. It is so humiliating to choose that. To me, it's just like, I can't do it. Like, in my view, it's literally a better option to just like go violent and somebody and then go to jail for it. Like, that's a more acceptable option than having to lie to get by. I just can't. I just can't. And at the time I thought that I could. I sort of tried it out. It really backfired. It doesn't work. And I'm glad that I was still able to retract for that and basically, in a very strange way, ask God for forgiveness for even having tried that. But just lies are horrifying. And it's so easy. Oh, just lie. It's so easy. Dude, it's so easy. But the price is so colossal. The long-term damage it does is just incontainable. Lying literally makes people lose their mind, and that doesn't mean, oh, he's talking about crazy things. No, it's literally about losing grasp. You lose grasp over reality because now you have to like integrate the lies into your overall system of thinking, and then it doesn't match anymore, and so you lose the cohesion of your complete oversight of reality. That's how fucked up lies really are. That's why you can never do it as a truther, especially as a truther. If you are super popular in some way, it's very suspect. Not saying that all of them are, but it's just very suspect. Because it's almost impossible to actually be a correct truther, to really do that and not get very unpopular with all the people that sort of want to be that but can't really. They just want to be at the earthly top of it. They want to be seen as the biggest truther, but they can't actually do it. It's like a false prophet, right? Follow the path of Jesus, which is also the truth. You become really unpopular. It just happened. It hurts other people that they are not that they can't accept that they chose lies and defend it. You can't accept that. So actually being a truther, you should be incredibly unpopular. And that's the irony of course, media, social media, is that, yeah, you really mostly only get to see the ones that in ways must be faking it. Must be. Like, and it's not even because they choose to or plan to, it's just because that's the inevitable consequences of having such a broad group of people behind you, which of course is very beneficial, gives you like political, financial power. But yeah, that's all earthly though, and the earthly power does not like truth. Lying is the primary earthly power. It is the easiest, and it is also the thing that, well, disconnects you from the spirit. Right? It's earthly power. It's what it does. Sacrifice the spirit for the earthly. unfortunately, media and social media is driven by the earthly, that not by lies, but by money, by connection, by getting people's attention and approval or response. Anyway, hope you all appreciate the show. Don't forget the Rogans. I'm gonna smoke this. Really nice outside. Wind is really picking up a lot. Right, anyway, themed show today. Hope you all appreciate it. Oh, I got my Rogans back. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's nothing really that stands out. Or Corona. Or UFO stuff. Secret footage released of weird shit where they literally just don't know what it is. Like, yeah. Cool. You don't know? No shit, you don't know. Like, we're all expecting them to know everything about reality. They don't. I mean, atheists maybe. Maybe they think that, but I mean, I still stand by my idea that I had about it. That the original UFOs were actually divine intervention devices that have then been back engineered by the fallen angels, or the shapers potentially, and that like we're still dealing with what they did. Like that is partially maybe assimilated by humanity, like the Bell project, right? Perhaps seems very likely to be related. Typical UFOs now, some of which might be like human made, but I mean I'm just convinced there are still like UFO phenomenon out there that may be from another civilization, but I'm also just kind of convinced that there's still divine intervention devices still at work, like because they are like a literal inherent part of the realm's design, correction systems, and they're still out there, and they're extremely mysterious, and they're gonna like in between, oh, another UFO aliens, and oh, this man-made secret CIA program. Yeah, but also literally God, or not necessarily like, oh, God in the clouds is directing it, but rather like it's part of the design. It's like a thing that just an automated thing that is designed to come out and do certain things, and it's really mysterious because what they do is based on the total premise of the original design of the entire system, which might be using factors, reading into things, reading into energy levels and spiritual activity in a way that by far surpasses our general normal earthly understanding. In other words, God's ways are mysterious, so it's like, yeah, we don't necessarily know how these things operate or why they even do what they do, but they do things, and they're part, in my view, of the design of the realm. And so there will be like, yeah, we spotted this thing and we don't know what it is or what it's doing there. Like, yeah, no shit. Anyway. Yeah. This evening, soccer match between England and Norway, and I'm kind of tense for it. Like, I just have this feeling like the English guys are gonna do something really mean or something, because I don't trust Kane, and I just don't trust the English football team. Like, what's behind that? And like, maybe the referees, like, because I mean, let's just say that Norway will win because Haaland is just epic. I just can almost see like they're gonna like what a thing would be
is that the referees just start handing out red cards like it's candy all of a sudden, and maybe to both sides, right? Why? Because either one is going to end up against Argentina, and if they don't have all their players, I bet they're not gonna get a special call from somebody to basically undo the red card, right? So I just feel like that's probably something that could happen. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that won't happen. But it's just, after everything that's already happened, you gotta like keep a lookout for that. It's very likely that there will be like an insane amount of strictness for both sides, because either one is gonna end up against Argentina. I just feel it. So yeah, maybe it's not even like England's in on that. It might happen to either side, both sides. Let's just say if there's no red cards on either side, I'm gonna be very, very surprised in a pleasant way. Right. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty intense, because I mean, Kane is really effective if he intends to be, and Haaland of course is Haaland, so it's gonna be an interesting game to watch. At least I just hope that the referees aren't gonna like act all insane and corrupt, but there are chances they will. Alright, but that's like in 5 hours from now. Right, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break and I'll be right back. Don't forget to opens it up if you're liking the show.
It's a demonstration for more asylum seekers in the Netherlands? What the fuck is this? And they're all a bunch of retarded boomers. And gays. Whatever the fuck that is. Idiots. Jesus. It's small though, but what the hell, man? These people are deranged.
Let me know what you.
Ooh, this is very interesting. This one I am definitely gonna play. Let's play that. I think I've seen this map before. It's good to see it again.
Did we just find Antarctica? And was it before there was ice? This is so crazy. I dive into old maps and I found a 1547 map that I don't know. You tell me, comment, let me know what you think, but it's really interesting. Look, here, I'll zoom out so you can check out the whole map.
Yeah, this one.
But at the bottom, they show land all the way across. Shoot me a message in the comments and I'll throw you a link to this. It's crazy. You'll want to check this out. I mean, look at this. Check out that bird. Yes, look at that. Carrying an elephant. Woo! First time I've seen that actually on maps, and I see a lot of crazy stuff on maps. You got a huge grasshopper right here. And then there's all kinds of different, creatures and beings on the map. I mean, I could spend hours and hours and hours on this. Like, you got Brazil right here. Did you know there's a different Brazil, like the high Brazil or the Brasilia region, which was a different place. Anyways, just thought I'd share this. More to come. Please check out my subscription channel as well. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of this. And until next time.
Yeah, epic. Definitely glad to find that one. But I mean, it always weirds me out when I see like what you saw on the bottom, these things, and I've seen that before in other map projections, and it's like nobody's ever actually properly explained what the hell that means. Like, what is that? Is that some kind of dome thing? Why is it shaped like that? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not clarified what that is. Right? Or is that like... Is it supposedly where it, well, loops? Is it like, well, it's the spherical projection, so that's where it comes together and it's actually one continuous piece? Like the inner land of Antarctica? It's just not clear what that is. Right, but I mean, it definitely looked like the beaches of South Antarctica, though.
Did we just find Antarctica? And was it before there was...
See? Look at that.
Shoot me
Right. I mean, you could definitely see beaches of South Antarctica here. It might all be snow covered now, but maybe some of it isn't. But I mean, it's very mysterious to me that it looks like this. It's just very strange. Some of these spikes they are like inland. Like here and here, they're in the land. What? What an incredible map, by the way. Like this is potentially a real Tartarian era map, right? Before 7076, the pre-mud flood world. Maybe not peak stage Tartaria, maybe before that, or maybe it was already peak stage. Who knows? I mean, they did apparently make maps of like the entire realm, so it probably is peak Tartaria age. It's just fascinating. Okay, this is hilarious. Oh, it was his sister, by the way. That big girl is Haaland's sister. I'm gonna play this. It's hilarious.
I know where you do the Harlem, do the Harlem walk.
How to be brave? How can I love you when
Oh, sorry. Hello?
Getting viral. Oh my gosh, Julia, you're on the billboard. That guy.
Okay. I don't know why that song would be playing over. That's very sloppy editing. Funny though. Oh, it's not her sister. Yeah. Thanks. Still thought it was... What? Oh, it's AI. Fuck it. Okay, I'm out of here. I mean... Don't do that. It was still funny though, but... Oh, God. Jumped to conclusions. Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna do AI generated crap unless it's real. I mean, what the AI was trying to do, copying that is all real stuff, and everybody's seen that. Okay, this looks really funny.
Their leaders are gone. Dead leaders, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Hope everybody out there is enjoying it. I mean, I'm just playing clips now. Done.
Their leaders are gone. Dead leaders, they're gone. And they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too. because I'm their number one target.
We're not playing around this time.
Alrighty then. AI. I mean, obviously.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, I'm not bumping into anything really interesting new. So I'm gonna round it out. Sorry for the long silent pause at the end of the show. So try to dig, see if we can find something. Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that during the show. I should be doing that before the show, but I never. Yeah, I didn't find anything yesterday night. So. Right, so thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. I certainly was very inspired the first hour. Hope you liked it. If you do, then don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. Please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gift Send Go. Links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. So please support your local Arwen. That would be great. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2690 on a Sunday. Hope to see you all again then. Everybody have a great rest of this Saturday, and yeah, until the next video, keep it flat.